Hi guys, I'm gonna briefly go over how to skim a set of drawings and be comfortable with them to be able to step on a job site and be as productive as you can as quickly as possible, um, minimize some of the hurdles. The A set of drawings in this case are going to be architecturals. There'll be dates here that will help you know how current the drawings are that you're looking at. Um, some of the general information about the project starts it out, and then uh, life safety, and again, general stuff about how to interpret the drawings that we're looking at. Here we have a door schedule, just skim, wall types. If you're looking for a wall type, we'll get to the plan views. They'll have a wall type, and then that references that schedule. Quick elevation of windows, how windows and doors are installed. We'll come back to this, and we're fine-tuning the details. And now we've got plan view. We've got views that refer to a 2.3. That's the 2 series drawings are going to be elevations often. So that would be, what does this building look like from this point of view? We would go to A 2.3 and look at a specific drawing on that page, D1. Got sections through the building, got letters that represent a window type. All this is information you're going to need to be able to get to. You don't need to have it memorized, but you need to know where to find that. In this case, this particular project, this is the D wing. That's important to understand when you step on the job site. Where's the D wing? The core is here in the middle. And then on this particular job, this is the C wing, A and the B wing. Now, there's 3 of these buildings on this particular project, and each of them are identical as far as the wings, but they rotate on the job site as far as their reference, north and south. So we have a north building, south and east building. You need to be able to know where the A wing, B wing, C wing, D wing, and the core are. In this case, we have 2 main entrances, one here and one here. Way to get in and out of the building. Got column lines here. This particular project, the D line, when we get to the structurals, there's a lot going on there as far as how to support beams and floor systems and ratings, stairwells, and elevators. These are all areas that are problematic oftentimes, and so as carpenters, we're heading there. You're going to want to be able to look at the drawings and dig into those details quickly to start asking the right questions to get the right answers, to be as productive as possible, as quick as possible. So now we're on the 2nd floor. You start to see some stairs have changed, and then just swap back and forth between this is 1st floor, 2nd floor. So in this case, there's a set of stairs that goes from the 2nd floor, just go down one more, to the 3rd floor. In both the A and the B wing, and the C wing. Back to the 1st floor. So the only way so you need to be familiar with your building. what your first floor looks like, your second floor, third floor. Just quickly breeze over those, know where your stairs are. Your roof system. And now we're going to zoom in. The architect is providing details for certain areas. In this case, it's a common area. You can see in the diagram what this shaded portion, how to interpret where this is on the building overall. This is going to provide a little more detail. Second floor, that same area. Now we're going to zoom in on the A wing. Okay, first, second, and third floor A wing. B wing right beside it, first and second floor, so this doesn't have a third floor. C wing in this case kind of sticks out the back. Good way of looking at it. And D wing, which is at 5 degrees. And a reflected ceiling plan. Help me understand where the hard ceilings are and the acoustical ceilings. And elevations, starting in on the A2.1 in this case. Two series drawings are going to be the elevations. So I'm going to want to be able to determine what siding types am I responsible for. Early on, you can see they have it as siding type 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and so in this case, they provide us with a schedule of what those siding types mean. Western cedar, that's the carpenters. Polyash siding or boral, that's the carpenters. Siding type 3 is fiber cement, that's carpenters. The rest of it, aluminum composite material, it's not us. Metal cladding, that's not us. Metal roofing, in this case, is not us. Windows, we'll be installing a portion of the windows. Anything that's not a storefront, in this case, we'll be installing. So here we've got, just as a reminder, as 1, 2, and 3 siding types are the carpenters. So here we've got siding type 1, this is a cedar. This is a window system type 1 we'll be installing. This is siding type 5, that's not us. So here's going to be some coordination that's going to need to happen around these windows, where we have cedar siding, which carpenters will be installing, and then metal siding. Siding types 4 and 5, either of those are carpenters. We've got siding type 2, so boral, polyash, down here. And in between the windows on this elevation, the gable ends, we have siding type 3, which is cementuous siding, which is the carpenters again. So again, we don't need to be able to dig in and have it all memorized, but we need to be able to quickly be able to look at a set of drawings and interpret it quickly. Get a rough idea what the project is going to look like. Elevation, and now I can kind of see cedar siding, boral siding, hardy in between, boral on the gables, cedar on these little wing walls, and metal siding on the flat roof portion. Again, cedar siding, metal siding around these windows, another coordination area. The gable end has boral. This is up on top of the flat roof. There's still a gable end. One of the wings, polyash, boral. Metal siding with windows. Here we've got a layout for the boral polyash siding of what the sequence of. Let's take a look at that. So the architect in this case has given us a pattern. And not critical at this point. First stepping on the job site, but it's nice to know that this exists and where to find it. 5.5, 9.5, 5.5, 7.5. We'll need that sometime. So 1 by 6, 1 by 10, 1 by 6, 1 by 8. We've got a conceptual drawing. Now sections through the building. Something I'm going to want to be looking at early on are stairs, elevators, landings, and kind of structural elements that I need to know how to apply it. Weather-related assemblies, most of the exterior, the envelope, where are some of the problem areas of the envelope. And start recognizing those right away. I've got a description of assembly types here. When we need to know those details, start to get an idea of where to find them. Here we've got sections as we get into windows, and really first got a little zoom in of one of the siding types. Again, this isn't time to dig in and study every detail, but just to be able to be familiar with. We've got pitched roofs, bearing walls, floor truss, looks like a floor truss bearing on walls, floor truss bearing on wall, bearing on a concrete, foundation wall, interior walls bearing on a slab. We're going to need to be planning how to attach to this concrete, how floor system attached to the walls, how trusses bear on plates. Loose items, what kind of materials are we going to need that aren't coming as part of a wall package or a floor package or a truss package. So now we're getting into some specific, as we get into the 3 series drawings, now it's those sections that we just looked at, and now we're zooming in at some of the more specific details of those sections. We're going to get a list of materials that we need, sealants, fasteners, wraps, how to install the windows here, a window that's set in, a window that's maybe has a nailing fin. Got different siding types now, how to go from wood siding into metal siding, how to go from wood siding to a metal roof. All these details, we'll need to know where to find them, know how to ask the correct question, and avoid asking questions that they've answered clearly, and instead work through the issues with a good understanding what the drawings are like, what information is included here. and try to come with solutions rather than just questions. So here we can see boral siding, gable end, overhang. These are all important details. A lot of this is going to be loose items that we'll have to order and make sure we have on site to fabricate that portion of the project. Here we got a unique parapet wall. In this case, I can tell you that we ended up framing this on site. We need to determine a lot of details, how our wall, balloon framed in this case, was going to work with lock deck roof, glue lam package, and then a panelized wall system on either end that it fastened to. And some of it had a floor system also. Start to see how now details like a porch roof. Saw sunshades, things hanging off the building, accessories that we need to incorporate and begin to know where to find these details, how to have the materials prepared to perform that work productively. And then we get into some of the interior details of bathrooms, eventually kitchens, stairs. I know where your stair details are, especially if we're framing these in the field. I come right here a lot of times, work my way through, trying to find out if there's unsupported landings or how to support the landings. Make sure all those details are figured out. See some of the details of how stairs are intended to be built, fastened, finished. And again, we're looking at the architectural drawings, still the A series drawings, and they aren't necessarily going to address all the structural issues, but this is specifically where the code issues are going to be, where we'll find what the head clearance is supposed to be, what the minimum clearance is on the stair landings, stairways, runs of stairs. Elevator details, again, in this case it's a CMU elevator shaft. We've got to make sure that all the wood components, all those little details, where to find them, what materials do we need to accomplish that, what the sequence is, who needs to go first. Need to be able to look at the drawings quickly and be able to determine some of those important strategic decisions. Here again, here we've got some specific details on how wood siding interacts with the metal siding, sunshades being attached, different trim components, what we call in this case a wing wall, how siding goes from cedar siding to boral siding on the gable end, another inside corner from boral to metal siding. I don't need to know all those details, but I need to know where to find them. Kitchens. Now again, a lot of these details are drawn here, but we'll reference shop drawings for the exact dimensions of cabinets, sunshade, mechanical units. Structural is more the literal nuts and bolts of how we do our work. In this case, I'm going to skip some of the concrete and steel, come right to the wood framing notes. It doesn't hurt to skim through at some point when you have the time. But just quickly, you're going to want to know what kind of fasteners you're using. What some of the materials are that we're using. Be familiar with those before we even get into the drawings. And not necessarily understand all of this, have a plan for all of it, but be aware where to find it, what the fastening patterns are, how it's broken out. In this case, floors have a type of sheathing, roof has a different type, walls have a different type. What the nailing patterns are. Some of these notes are for the actual truss manufacturer, but knowing where to find the information that we need. These general notes at the beginning. Here we've got a foundation plan. This is concrete work. But we need to be able to interpret these as far as, in this case, what's your SW, the shear wall, number 2. Shear wall 1, SW1. A lot of important dimensions here. And make sure that these work out with the wall panels that sit on this wall. Got hold downs. Now these aren't specified, so there must be a hold down schedule. See steel members that are specified. Got some loose items here. It looks like a Simpson product. Being able to quickly look at a set of drawings again and not figure out everything that needs to be known here, but be able to skim it, know where to find information that I need. Okay, so now we're going to start to see schedules as far as what types of beams go where and what kinds of hangers. Let's see what they have here. So here's the type of beam. Here's the hanger used for it. Description of the condition where that applies. Any specific notes. I'm not going to memorize that at first before showing up. But this is where to find it when we need it. Header schedule. Again, part of the panel plan in this case. But understanding where to find it on the set of drawings. Some notes about how to interpret shaded areas, different line types, what the markings mean for a hold down. How to interpret what we're looking at. So here we can start to see which walls are structural, as far as what has something bearing on it. Start to see some beams. Loose items that we're going to need to make sure we have. Stairs with a big X over them. Means the engineer isn't going to touch that. That's why we start there. Figure out how to accomplish that. Get the architectural drawings and the structural drawings to work out how to support the landings and how many stringers there are. See the special areas where we'll have to put additional blocking. Again, we're not going to get into exactly what the blocking is, but we're going to just skim. So, these are areas that we need to start getting some answers for. Start to see some bracing details of a roof. So this wing must be stopping. This must be at roof level. These are now roof trusses, but it's a flat roof. And we've got these two wings that are going to continue in front of the floor. Additional roof details. Each of these pages has that wooden joist / beam hanger schedule. Continues. Header schedules. Again, specific notes about what they're calling attic framing in this case. How to build the elevator cap on top of the CMU. So we'll begin the roof framing above the A and the C wings. Elevations of the trusses. Concrete details. Now I start to see some wood sitting on concrete and know how to fasten. Just skim these quick. We can see anchor bolts, walls sitting on a thickened slab. Recognize how problematic it is to build on a slab. Walls sitting on foundation walls. Steel that needs to go in for certain parts of the slab. These are all coordination considerations. CMU. See a double wall and an interior wall and an exterior wood bearing wall. Here we have an LSL wall. This is a structural wall we ended up framing in the field. We're skimming these structurals again to see where to find the details that we need as we dig into the drawings later. Just to get a feel for how much wood is there, how much steel, how much concrete. What portions of the project will we be working on? There's at least some wood stairs here. Also some glue lamp stairs. See some of the glue lamp details. It's a package, it comes pre-built. You don't need to have that all figured out before you step on the job site, but just to be aware of some of these things. It's very, very helpful to understand some of the details before you step on a job site for the first day. Some general truss framing details.